We're going to be exposing some flat earth heretics today, and the best way I can sum up this video is just by saying the figureheads of the flat earth movement are just a bunch of false prophets. I mean, they just teach damnable heresy. They're literally just a bunch of Gnostics, dude. And before I really get into all this, I'll just admit it. I don't believe in outer space. I don't believe in the globe. I think they're both pretty stupid, to be honest with you. I mean, if you believe in the globe, you believe that people live upside down. You literally believe that people in Australia live with their feet above their heads, man. It's just stupid. So I have a list of 6 different heresies that these flat earth frauds love to teach. And number 1 is Gnosticism. These people teach that all of reality is not real. They say that everything is just consciousness. They just say that all of existence is just taking place inside of God's imagination. So they say that, the material world is just this holographic mental projection from God. And so, therefore, we're all just characters in God's head, and we just need to wake up and realize that fact. And I think the biggest guy who teaches this would definitely have to be Eric Dubay. I mean, if you've ever seen this dude's channel, he's just full-blown Gnostic freak. He's just full-blown false prophet. I mean, he hates God. He hates Jesus Christ. And he's not even the only one who believes this. A lot of these people who are making these documentaries online about flat Earth, they'll eventually veer off into the topic of metaphysics or, spiritual doctrine, whatever you want to refer to it as. And they'll just preach the same thing. Which is kind of bizarre if you really think about it, because all these people do is cry about Freemasons all day, and yet they're teaching the exact same thing that Freemasons teach, and they're believing the same things that they do. So make it make sense, I guess. Number 2 is them saying you just need to read the Bible as a bunch of allegories. You can't actually believe the written word. You have to just take it in the context of every other religion. And if you read every other religion into the context of the Bible, wow, shocker, it teaches Gnosticism. Isn't that crazy, right? You have to interpret the Bible through doctrines of devils, and then you get more doctrines of devils. I've seen a lot of stupid interpretations from these people. I think probably my favorite one is this one guy. He made this documentary called something along the lines of What on Earth Happened? And he veers off into saying that the mark of the beast is the carbon atom. And since we're all carbon-based life forms, we've all taken the mark of the beast. And the material world is totally evil, guys. Trust. I've also seen him say things like, Jesus and the 12 disciples is actually just an allegory for the zodiac. And they convince their followers that if you read the Bible as just a bunch of allegories, it proves flat earth even more. Yeah, you definitely need to throw out the Bible in order to prove that outer space isn't real, right? Number 3 is reincarnation. And since these people are just a bunch of unsaved Gnostics, they also love to teach this. The Eric Dubay guy and this conspiracy music guru dude, they both teach this. I guess apparently that's the only thing that can make sense to them. You can't actually just believe that God created the heaven and the earth and that, it's appointed for man to die once. And then after that, the judgment. No, you have to believe that you're trapped in an endless cycle of torture where you're just being reincarnated. You're just getting reset as a schizophrenic delusion of God. And then, eventually, as soon as you ascend to a higher consciousness, you'll escape your eternal reincarnation torture loop. It's just like, come on, man. Number 4 is Jewish fables. A lot of these people love to push this wrong belief that Jesus's name is actually Yeshua and the true name of God has been hidden from us, guys. Ooh. Which, first of all, that's actually another Gnostic doctrine, that the name of God is hidden. Second of all, that's just wrong. God's name is Jehovah. It's not Yehoshua or Yahuwah or whatever other kind of nonsense they want to come up with this week. And another thing that they teach here is they bring in the book of Enoch. They love to do this for whatever reason. They immediately try and get you to believe that the Gnostic book of Enoch is actually mentioned in the Bible. And so now you have to interpret the Bible through the book of Enoch. Well, there's a lot of problems with the book of Enoch. You know, as I mentioned, it's a Gnostic forgery. And there's actually two main versions of Enoch. A lot of people don't know this, but there's the original one, which is just openly teaching Kabbalistic Judaism. And then there's the more Christianized version where it removes references to Enoch being the son of God and saying that all men will evolve into angels once they reach heaven. But, you know, they just love to teach this, right? They also just love to lie and say that, only first Enoch is truly canon, and second and third Enoch, the ones written by the Kabbalistic Jews, they're just the forgeries. But no, they tell a cohesive story, and it's quite clear if you read Enoch that it's just Kabbalistic Judaism. Like, these people, they don't even bother to read like anything from this. They just want to believe in the Nephilim. Oh, the giants, bro. But that's just Jewish fables. The Bible does not teach that people were 500-foot cannibals. It's just nonsense. Number 5, Trinity denial. Now, for whatever reason, the Gnostics, they love to deny that Jesus Christ is God. You know, who would have saw that one coming, right? Some of the big ones here are this earthen vessels guy. He made this documentary called Heliosorcery a few years ago. It was a big thing.
They just deny the Trinity. They just openly deny the Trinity.
They don't mention it in the documentary, but if you look into them, they do deny it. Another one is this Witsit Gitsit guy. This guy is just a total Gnostic fraud. I mean, he says that we all came from source and then we will return to source. So he's just a pantheist. He also says that you can lose your salvation. And as I mentioned, he denies the Trinity. And he also cries and says, the people who believe that Jesus is God say that you have to believe he's God in order to be saved. Which is true. You do have to. Which segues into my last heresy, false gospels. A lot of these people either deny that you have to believe Jesus is God, like Witsit Gitsit and this Toronto Bible study guy, or they just teach you can lose salvation, like Witsit Gitsit does. And there's this other guy, his name is The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. He's another big Enoch pusher. They both just deny that you have everlasting life. They believe that you need works to be saved. The truth is, if you go out and listen to most of these flat earth preachers, you're probably going to wind up going to hell, because almost none of them actually know what the gospel is. And apparently almost none of them believe that you even need to believe Jesus is God in order to be saved. But I guess this is what happens when you spend more time obsessing over conspiracies all day and night instead of reading the Bible. Instead of just going on to these different non-YouTube websites so you can find all the super secret hidden conspiracy documentaries, how about you just read the Bible? How about you get saved? And how about you learn some fundamental Christian doctrine so you don't wind up going to hell like the people I mentioned?